What's up, Mystic Manifesting family? Nick with Mystic Manifesting here. Now, YouTube, I'm going to need you guys to let me know if you can hear because I know we've been having technical difficulties. I don't want to hold that assumption any longer than I already have. It's been something that's been holding on, and it's always inverted. Fix this thing in my hair. Fucking curls are falling in my hair. There's a positive manifestation. I said I'm gonna have my hairline come back, and it actually looks less thin than it usually does. So that's the second time I heard a hairline one, besides myself. Somebody I was working with, his came back as well. So good for him. Good for me. There's my mini manifestation. Something you don't really need, but it would be nice. You don't want to lose it. But anyway, OG, welcome in. I appreciate it. Am I saying your name right too? I was going to shout you out. I want to shout you, Barber, and Ratasha out. Thank you guys for subscribing and being members to the YouTube channel. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoy the extra videos. I'm looking down here, but the camera's here. I hope you guys are enjoying the extra videos I put out over on YouTube. I got another one coming out this week. I try to do at least one a week. I'm not actually posting too much stuff on the regular channels just because I'm not sure what else to post about. I've made so many videos already. So whatever you got. New subscriber from Mexico. That's awesome. What part? I was last time I was in Mexico, I was in Puerto Vallarta. I can't say the name right. If you watch the vlog that me and my specific person did, I didn't know how to say it the right way. Oh, thank you for the likes over here. I'm on TikTok at the same time, trying to combine these. The right. How do you even say your name? I know who it is. Someone who I know in real life. Welcome in, my brother, though. Appreciate it. Shouldn't you be working right now? Okay, cool. I've never been over there before. I don't know the landscape too well. I could barely know my own country's landscape. But I'm going to light up the cigar today. I do appreciate having you here. And again, I want to shout you out. And I'm saying your name right? OG? I was just figuring that's how it was pronounced. The Rip Reaper? Okay, I like that. It was too close together. I'm dyslexic. Yeah, I wanted to shout you, Barbara, and Ratasha out. You guys are the 3 subscribers to the bonus content. So whatever you guys want to see too, let me know. If it's something you're not seeing on the regular channel, you guys got free reign there. Let me know what you guys want to see. Today we're going to go with Rocky Patel Royal. I'm sure I'm going to get flagged over here in a second. You're from India? Well, nice to meet you, Ed. I don't know. I couldn't even read my friend's name. That was the Rip Reaper. I'm going to say Aid. Welcome in, Aid from India. Glad to have you here as well. You ready? Tic Tac, you ready? We're going to get flagged right now. So today's topic is going to be hot and cold with your manifestations, which is something we all experience. I'm going to lead off with some success stories from some clients I have. Hart, what's up? Welcome in. So I'm going to lead off with some success stories from some clients I got. And I'm going to talk about some things that people have been going through, not just with them, but myself as well. Not right now, but I've gone through it in the past. Josh, what's up, brother? Good to see you here. Welcome in. I need money very much, sir. Okay, cool. We'll go over the money manifestation too. It's a nice little change of pace from the specific person, but I'm going to lead off with some stories of, some SP success. We're going to move into some money stuff, and we'll go from there. I'm switching up because, like I said, I'm staying dedicated to this, the most part, dedicated to the carnivore diet. Shout that out too, because, I got the Muscular Mystic channel where I'm talking about the carnivore diet, training for Six-Pack Super Show. We got one client, I'll shout her out. It was JJ. She's doing a great job on her carnivore diet. She's been on it way longer than any of us, but lost 130 pounds. That's awesome. And I want to shout Inked Out. I know she's down. Last time I checked, that was a while ago, 13 pounds. So shout out to her. I'm down to 20, but it came back a little bit. So I got to hit the cardio. But all right, let's go into the success stories. We're going with black coffee too. I might not like this. Can you give me money, sir? Yes or no? No, my brother, I cannot give you no money. I can teach you to manifest money. If I, teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. If I don't teach you how to fish, and just give you a fish. You're not going to. That was a good try. Anyway, there we go. There's my restriction. Now we can really get into it. All right, we got enough people here. All right, so I'm going to lead off with a success story. One bike to buy. No, I don't need a bike. I got a bike, bicycle and motorcycle. All right, thank you for the live. All right, I got to focus in. We'll tell some success stories. All right, now we talk about time not being a factor. I want to talk about one of my clients I had. We had worked together since August through my DM coaching. And he was someone who was like, he had a lot of things to overcome. Not too much. Like, I mean, I've seen people with more things, myself included. But like the stuff he worked through, I'm very proud of him. He's worked really hard on this manifestation, you know, feeling like, hey, maybe I've elevated and I no longer need this specific person. It was a specific person journey, so I said I'm gonna start out with those moving the money stuff. And you know, he switched up his specific person who he was manifesting. A lot of times we all do that. I've done it before too. You switch it up because it removes the attention from the person that you're manifesting, right? Doesn't mean you don't want them, but it removes the attention, makes it not so scary. Anyway, he's doing that. And he's making progress. Like this person who he doesn't, this person like who he would usually not see would wind up getting all these signs like, hey, you know, maybe you should date her. She sees him, tells someone that he knows about, like, hey, maybe we'll hang out or something. So all these things were kind of coming to fruition out of nowhere. The first specific person comes back into his life, and they were out on a date the other day. So that was nice to hear. The story's still unfolding, but the thing that came up there, and along with another client, she did a great job as well. She manifested her specific person back as well. And then there was some wavering, and that happens. You know, once you have the specific person back, you start to waver. And I've done that before too. It's like that's where, you know, usually statistically, you guys who followed YouTube, TikTok, you guys are a little bit newer to this. So it's like you would see me lose my specific person. It happened once when I had the channel. But before that, when I would recap what was going on, I would lose the person because it was like, oh, well, I was focused on the worst case scenario, not trusting this is not a good person. I was focused on the version of her that I didn't want. But when I was focused on the version of her that I did want, that's when we were broken up, because it's like, hey, I could only focus on good things right now, things that are lovely and of good rapport, because I want to feel good about myself. Same thing with Abe was talking about money. So he was talking about money over here. So it's like same thing with money. If you have an idea on money, you need to change how you view money. So same thing with that person. You got to see it in a better light. So if you change the way you see that person, change the way you see money, you change the way you see any circumstance that you're into a favorable set of circumstances, things will start to change in that specific way. So when you're experiencing the hot and cold, I didn't like to think this in the beginning when we talk about the hot and cold behavior. And that's why I titled the video this. I think, you know, OG and Barbara and Natasha, if you guys want to see a video on that for the membership channel, or maybe I'll just do it on the regular channel. But talking about when you're experiencing the hot and cold, what do? It's in one ear, out the other. What you see, you don't really see. Deny the senses of your defy the senses that you see. Defy what you hear. Back away from whatever's really upsetting you. So, sorry guys, I'm seeing both these chats moving at the same time, and I'm trying to stay on course to the lecture I got. If I miss your question, I'm gonna have time for questions. So if you guys want, save them for the end. I do. I'm just not speaking it. Let me take one of the questions here. I feel like just because while we got people here, take the questions. That's a really specific number, my brother. $787. Thank you for the question. That's a time crunch question too. So let me go through this hot and cold behavior. When you get something into your reality, then I'll answer that one. So that's a good question. We'll continue the jumping off point. All right. So when you're experiencing hot and cold behavior, it's like usually comes from a specific person, but it could be in a chance like money. Like, hey, you like start affirming for money. Like Aid over here wants $158, right? If he's trying to get $158, he manifested into his reality. He might only manifest $72, but it's like, hey, that's not enough. That's not exactly what I asked for. But the more you focus on something that you don't have, it's like you're still focused in a state of lack. So you want your specific person. The specific person comes back around, but they say, I don't know if I want to be official or in an official relationship yet. And you look at, well, that's because you're exactly like this and exactly what I knew about you. And then you stick to that. When you stick to that script and you picture them that way, that's how it's going to stay, or you're going to get less. Take the Bible line. For those who have everything, more is given. For those who have less, more is taken away. So from that line in scripture right there, for those who have everything, more is given. If you're focused on gratitude and abundance and focusing on more when you have less, more will be provided to you. And when you're focused on, same thing with money, you're focused on money and you get not as much as you want, and you start saying that's not enough, you get more lack. So things get taken away. This is the power of the mind. The mind manifests into your reality whatever you're identified with. So if you're identifying with having less, this isn't fair, this doesn't work, this person's always this way, money's always been like this, things will continue to go that way. So when you're experiencing the cold behavior, what do? You write the story. I think that's one of the best times to experience it. You experience it by Aid, I love you too, brother. You're doing great. You're making my day, making my Monday fun. Aid, bring me a good cigar for $158. Anyway, when you're experiencing like the cold behavior, what do? That's the hard part. But you got to reframe it, make it the easy part. So if you're experiencing cold behavior, usually what is the cold behavior? They're not talking to me. There's not this regular contact. Cool. You write the story in that time. That's why I said before, I got a line, being blocked is a blessing. Because when you're blocked, you write the story. You decide what that person's going to say in your mind's eye. So you have these inner conversations. Inner conversations are a game changer. I have videos on it on YouTube if you guys want to see. I got the little clips over here on TikTok if you guys want to see them there. But I would say go to YouTube. I tell you guys this every live. Go to YouTube. There's more videos there. This is our Monday morning lecture. So when you're experiencing that cold, you're writing the story. Okay, I wanted to hear this response today. Okay, what do I do when I want to hear that response? I focus on what would I like to hear. I send an imaginary text message. I have an imaginary conversation with this person, and they respond in the way that I would like them to respond. And then I relax. Because after that inner conversation, it should create a feeling of relaxation in you, a feeling that it's already done, and you relax and you let it go. The thing is, a lot of times we hold on to it and say, this isn't enough, this isn't enough. Like, what technique can I do? And we start rampaging affirmations and we start going balls to the wall, which is fine at times, especially when you don't believe something. But we think the more techniques we throw at something, the more it's going to happen. And I preach this. A technique is a tool. The tool to help you feel a certain way. We're after a feeling. Neville Goddard, feeling is the secret. We're trying to get a feeling of what it would be like if this person was just coming in hot, not what are we focused on when they're coming in cold. Because we got to remember, if our thoughts and assumptions created enough where we now have somewhat contact, or in the case of money, we have some type of money coming in, we need to focus and double down on that. Be grateful for what we have and more will be given. Pray in prayer as though you have already received and it shall be yours. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to jump in. I want both the chats at the same time while giving this lecture and speech. I get overstimulated. But we have to focus on those things. Things that are lovely and of good rapport. I'm somehow making this coffee, the black coffee, work with a cigar. Not a black coffee drinker, but hey, it's working. All right. So if you got more questions on it, let me know. I'm going to roll up, I'm asking for questions now. That's the best advice I could give. It's simple. Sometimes I'm bring up this point too real quick. A lot of coaches, myself included at times, we will over-explain things, trying to cover all the bases. The simple base is if you're not seeing what you don't want to see, you got to remove attention from it. So if nothing's happening, how do you remove attention from nothing? Get focused on something else that you do love and fill your time with that. So if you're filling your time with things that you want to do, not to stay distracted while I'm waiting for a specific person. Oh, are they here yet? Are they here yet? No, not to stay distracted in that way, but to do something that builds this reality for yourself, right? If I'm with this person, or I have this much money in my bank account, or I have whatever I'm looking for, and it's here now, I'm going to go about and do other things. So say I'm in the relationship, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to be on the live streams. I'm going to be doing the Twitch streams, which are tonight, Tuesday night, and Thursday night, if you guys want to watch them. I'll be, what's it called? I would be doing those things. I'd still be going to the gym. I'd still be working. I'd still be helping people. I'd still be doing the things I love to do, but I'm in the relationship. And now look at me now. I'm in this relationship. And at one point I didn't have it, but I kept doing all these things. I was making content for Flex Entertainment. I was doing comedy. I was doing all the things I wanted to do. Although my heart was broken, although I didn't get everything I wanted at the moment, or it was just kind of hot and cold behavior, like I would double down on the hot. Whenever I would see something I liked, I would feel even better about that. I got a little bit more money in the bank account, even if it was an overtime day and it was a ball busting day at the job I was working. It's like, fine, that's more money. Focus on that money. Feel good about that money. If my specific person was just talking to me and it was like there was no plans of meeting up, I would say, thank you, God, for this. I appreciate this. I'm so happy. And I was focused on that. Sorry, guys. I see more questions coming in over here, so I'm trying to keep up with this. Helene, thank you for the likes. 8 says you hate me. Okay. Well, manifest your $158, my brother. I know circumstances don't matter, but how to not notice 3P blocked. It's been 7 months, and she resents me. All right, Vinny, so I'll tell you this one. I've been in that same boat before. I was told, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I was told this is never going to happen again. I was blocked everywhere, and there was a 3P. So what the fuck do I do? What does it benefit me to go checking the 3D? Am I still blocked? That doesn't benefit me. What's this guy look like? That doesn't benefit me. Because all I'm going to do is compare myself. If I don't stack up some way, I'm going to feel deficient in my life. If I'm way better than this person, I'm going to feel, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Is manifesting worthwhile? Well, what the fuck is the point of all the good things I have in life? So that's not going to help me. If I see that, if I look at the time, it's been 7 months, I'll tell you this. I've got 5 clients I could name you offhand who've manifested their specific person at 1 year or a little bit after. I had one guy just go out on a date. He's in the chat, I believe. Went on a date after 2 years. Like one year working on it, just trying to figure it out. 1 year of work with me, and then it happened. It doesn't need to take a year, but to the degree your mind is impressed, it will come in quicker. So when you start bringing the future to here, the more you make it more believable now and actually live your life as though you already have it, the faster it will come in, because you're not fighting. That's why I say get distracted with things that you love and you have passion for, because it takes your mind off it and it creates a sense of life, passion, and love in your life, that you love yourself and you love your life, and you build up this character who doesn't feel lack, who doesn't feel not worthy about something. So you do that. So if you're asking if it's possible, yes, I'm living, walking proof of it. And my clients who have done this, they're also walking proof of it. So can you do it? Yes. Is it impossible? No. But what do you need to do today? You need to control your emotions now. Understand it's okay to feel bad. It's okay to feel heartbroken. It's all right to feel like maybe this isn't going to work, and it's okay to doubt the process. But the only thing you need to do is continue the process, because number one, persistence. Number two, what do you have to lose by thinking that way? At the very worst case, having these great inner conversations makes you feel good about yourself. So these inner conversations, these techniques, if they make you feel good about yourself, why would you ever stop them? Just continue doing them. And then over time, I've had clients like this. They say, oh, I'm going to switch to a new specific person, but I feel great in life. A new person comes in. Sure enough, the old person comes in as well. So then they have a choice to make. Almost always that happens. Some people, most people, for me, I always chose my same specific person, but I had great options that showed up when I did that. Other people, they've chosen the new options. And then there's other people who try to balance both. It's up to you. Oh, hold on. Every time I try to scroll down, I lose everything that you guys are saying, so I got to keep going back up. YouTube, feel free to ask questions too, not for $158. I don't feel like speaking Hindi or English right now, Aid. Okay, Aid, you can leave if that's how you want to be. I've never had international rage baiting, but it's funny. I don't want to I don't want my desire in September. I don't want it right now in February. How do I go about this? Well, 787, you can create a feeling of a timeline or like a sense. Okay, so what? You want it in April? Um, there's a feeling of April. April, springtime. It's like the weather's changing. It's not quite summer, but it's not quite winter anymore. You're in that in between. So how does like right now? It's a spring day. It's like 19 degrees this morning. We're probably at 20 something right now, but the sun's out and it's shining, and it's kind of like a spring look and feel to it. But if I push forward like a month or two, there's going to be some leaves coming on the tree, right? So I could push forward and see a scene of whatever my desire is. I push it forward where it's like, okay, I can kind of feel the sense. What is it like when I wake up? What is it? What do I feel at that time of year? Just like Christmas has a feeling. Neville's used this one as an example. Christmas had a feeling. There's a feeling that you can't really explain, but it's like you could feel it. So you push your desire off to then. And it's like, what does the feeling of the season feel like? I could feel this season right now without really, it's hard to explain, but I could feel it. So you feel that while you're setting up the scene that you're going to manifest, right? Whether it's a person or money or a circumstance or something that's going to unveil, you kind of put yourself in that scene, and then it will begin to reveal. Then you put yourself in the scene of what that timeline feels like, or that atmosphere, and then you put yourself in your desire there, if that makes sense. How to know we've made a new story dominant internally. Young style, I'll tell you this: when you've impressed your subconscious and you've impressed your mind, one of the ways to know that is a lack of desire to do techniques. When we don't have something, we kind of want to do techniques nonstop because we think that's what's going to bring the manifestation in. Really, all it's doing is changing your feeling state. And when it feels dominant, where it feels like almost like lazy, like you don't want to manifest this anymore, you don't really care about it anymore, that's how you know that you've done it. Where it's like, hey, I went to sleep, and I usually go to sleep with a technique, but I didn't do a technique, and I woke up and I feel great anyway. Or when you're dominantly feeling better, because when this all starts, we're usually in a state of panic and feeling like garbage, and we start to feel better and we start to move on with our life. That's why I say you get busy. Getting busy kind of creates that feeling state. It helps you create that feeling state and create that confidence that it's already done. Because usually we shell up. When something bad or traumatic happens, we shut down and we don't do anything we usually like. We don't do what our passions are, and we kind of go into this depression feeling. The more you do things, the more you keep being yourself and using techniques, the more you start to create that dominant feeling. So, okay, you're in that feeling state dominantly, then I would say your subconscious is impressed. Greetings from Uganda. Well, welcome. Kisses with Aisha. You mean that even though someone doesn't reply or block me, I should reframe it? Yes. Yes, Cruz, you should always reframe and change everything. Like, that's the beautiful thing. In life, nothing has any meaning other than the meaning you give it. So you need to reframe everything in your mind. Find the silver lining. This is good because of this. Okay, I don't have the specific person right now. That's great because I have all this time to work on all this stuff. I got all this time for my friends. I have all this time to do all these things that I wanted to do. And if she was here or he was here, whatever you guys are manifesting, it's like if you're in that state where it's like there's going to be a time where it's like hard to do things because you have that person or that circumstance. So you try to reframe it. It's like, okay, I'm doing all this stuff now because they're already on the way back, and almost out of a sense of excitement / fear / urgency, you manifest it back because excitement and fear are both expectations. They're expecting feelings. So hopefully that makes sense. I only want my desire in September. I don't want it right now. February, how do I go? Okay, I answered that one already. And just think that reply and text me constantly. Yeah, but don't think of it as somewhere out there. Think from it. How does it feel right now that you received that text that you want to do? The text that you want to receive, how does that feel right now in this moment? That's thinking from the end. If you received it right now, what would your mood be? And to the degree you can impress yourself, whether you script it out, whether you affirm it, whether you visualize it, whatever technique you choose to do. Everybody uses a different technique, but they all work. I've tried them all. Whatever technique creates that feeling within you, how do you feel right now? Because so many times it's like, let's say you're having a really bad day, but I call you and say you won the lottery. your mood's going to change like that. But then in that case, you're relying on an external stimuli to get you to feel a certain way. When you can feel that way right now, that's the point, the power of the mind. You need to get your mind to trigger that feeling right now on its own. Oh no, that shit canoed out. All right. How to know we've made the new story dominant internally? Okay, I answered that one. Yes, pretty much. Okay. How do you maintain your manifestation? That's a great question. That's kind of what the live is about. So I'm going to go into that. Vinny, I'm going to answer this one real quick too for Vinny. Vinny, don't ever feel bad because you're wavering or doubting. I did that too. Perfectly normal and natural to feel that. Our minds are programmed to be logical, so that's normal. But it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. The more you think that you're fucking up, the more it starts to fuck up. Remember, you set the rules. If you assume this is going to work, you could come up with some technique that I've never heard of. Why do you think that things work in all different religions and thought patterns and stuff like that? Okay, there's people who think from the law of attraction side. There's people from law of assumption like myself. There's people that do witchcraft. There's I said witchcraft. There's people who do that shit. There's people who are Catholic and Christian and other religions. Why do they all get their desires? Because all of those things help create a feeling state within them. Even when you read the Bible, I've talked about this before. We're going to do the Sunday sermons and stuff because I come from the Catholic background. So I'm going to do stuff for that. But, otherwise I'm sticking with manifesting where everyone could understand what I'm saying. But I'm going to go to Cruz's thing. How do you maintain a manifestation? So, yeah, like I said, there's going to be hot and cold behavior sometimes. And I call it like a spillover. And it's not my thing. I heard that before when I was manifesting my specific person. They're like, oh, well, the spillover. I'm like, I just choose not to believe in the spillover. But sometimes things come up, right? You don't know where it came from. But if everything comes from our mind and our thoughts and something popped up and it's like, man, I thought I got over this. I thought I got over this fear. Recognize it, see whatever's bothering you. Okay, cool. Feel your emotions. If it's something major and it triggers you, feel the emotions. You're human. You're a human being having a human experience. Feel those emotions, let it go, let it flow. And then after that, pick yourself up, put yourself on track. What is the opposite? How do I reframe this? How do I see this or focus on the new person? Because you're in a relationship with the same person, but a different version of them. It's almost like you've moved timelines. That's what they call it, like reality shifting and stuff. So you're in that new reality now with this new person who looks exactly like your old SP. What do you do in that state? You focus on them. The other stuff, you just treat it like a nightmare. I woke up from a nightmare and I ignore it. Whatever you give attention to, wherever attention goes, energy flows. So if you're putting energy towards that, you're going to keep manifesting more of that in. Just the thoughts that we think about and we perceive someone can influence the 3D. Yeah, Cruz, that's one of the things we have a live on that. I have that live up on YouTube where I've got the live where we talk about, can a person reject your thoughts? And it's like, even Neville said, if it's a state that you can see yourself in, like if I want to manifest love and I can see myself being loved and I can feel love and I can accept it and I can give it, then it's a state I'm able to put onto somebody else where they could feel that for me, if that makes sense. But yeah, whatever you put out into the 3D will come back. Dev says, hey, I have a question. Do you have to be on a Sabbath state or can I manifest without it? Well, the Sabbath state is saying that you're in the wish fulfilled. So it's like sometimes I felt I wasn't fully impressed on something, but it's still manifested in, but I'm actively doing techniques and visualizing and staying in the state of it for as long as I can. Just because I waver and fall out of it, it's hard to measure this stuff quantitatively, right? It's like, oh, am I in it more or in it less? It might feel like less, but there's times where it's like, hey, I feel like I had less money in my account today, and you go check your bank account, it's like, hey, there's more money in there. So it's like, that's something you can measure quantitatively. But in this, it's hard to tell. So you might actually be more in the dominant state of having and not even realize it, and it still manifests in. So it is possible where you might not think you're doing enough, but it really turned out to be enough and your manifestation came to be. OG, you said and didn't feel attached to no one or something. OG, can you rephrase that question? I don't know if I missed part of your. I don't know if all of your message didn't send, but I'm not seeing the rest of it. Should I manifest third party away or just ignore it? Vinny, there's no way to like both of those things are the same thing. When you ignore it and you don't put energy on something, you don't put attention on something, you don't put energy into it, and you don't focus on it, that removes it. Wherever your attention goes, energy flows. So the more you're focused on a third party and removing them, it's like, I got to get rid of them. What do you do to get rid of them? There's nothing you can do in the 3D. What I always would do is write a letter, and you don't send it. And I just write a letter that, hey, thanks for coming into the reality. You reflected something on myself that was missing. And it's like, now I see that I got to raise my value in myself. And you know what? I'm sorry that you broke my SP's heart, but whatever. Now that you're gone, I wish you nothing but the best. Goodbye. Respectfully, fuck off. Like, that was like type of letters I would write. And I would burn the letter, or you could throw it in the garbage, or you could do whatever you want with it. Don't send it to the person. Don't send it to your SP. Nothing like that. The letter is a symbolic of you removing those intrusive thoughts. It's symbolic of you removing the third party. Because if I burn the letter and the letter's gone, and that means the third party's gone, then I have nothing to worry about. So now it creates the state in my mind that my specific person is single. I've used this technique with many clients, and it's worked. I used it myself. Above in the inner talking meditation, I say to myself, I'm enough and my existence is enough. And I felt something different. OG, that's great. Yeah, whatever works for you that's the dominant thing that we're trying to achieve anyway. I'm enough and my existence is enough. So it's like, if you're not feeling it, that's why I say do things that like mini manifestations build up your confidence. So if you ever start to waver, pick out some things that seem a little out of the realm of possibility, but not impossible. Like you could justify them happening in some way. Don't focus on them too much. And it's like, and realize, hey, I manifested that in your mind's a muscle. Manifestation's a muscle in a way. It's a metaphorical muscle. But the more you train it, the better you get at it. So it's like doing other things to compound that or to create that feeling. The fact that you're saying that and you're feeling it already is perfect. That's a sign that you're in the Sabbath. You're in the state of the wish fulfilled already. That's what we're aiming for. Because it's not just about getting the specific person. It's about becoming the person in ourselves, which is way more valuable than having the relationship, than having the money, than having all that stuff. It's way more valuable to feel that, like you said right here, I see detached and the resistance fell off. Exactly. So when you remove, because detaching is not quitting, but it's walking in faith. It's feeling, again, what your affirmation is, I'm enough and my existence is enough. So when you could detach, you're walking in faith. You would think the cigar would light better for the price. My SP's in Egypt, and you know what's crazy? I'm the only one who dropped her off. I'm the one who dropped her off at the airport, and she said to me, I already miss your company. There you go, Dev. See? Those are the things we focus on. It's like instead of focusing on, like, some people will be like, oh, but she hasn't, like, let's say, I'm going to use this as an example because it's something I went through at one point. It's like, okay, your specific person goes on a trip without you, and you're the one who dropped her off at the airport and went through the same thing. It's like, oh, she hasn't contacted me. She's not missing me. You got to remember, that person's on vacation. If you're on vacation, you're going to focus on that. Yeah, you might love this person, but you got to focus on what you got to focus on, right? Enjoying your trip. You're going to see the person when they come back, but then the fact that they're missing you is a good sign. So you focus on that silver lining. Damn, this shit keeps fucking dropping. Cruz says, what should we be mindful of when we think about our specific person in a relationship or we interpret a fight? So you got to reframe it. You got to reframe every single thing. And this part kind of sucks, but you've built up all these meanings to this person and to the circumstances, right? So it's like, how do you reframe that? Well, go back to, if you're in the relationship now, you obviously have good memories. You have memories of the reconnection. You got memories of stuff where it's like Dev over here says, my SP is saying that she misses me. So it's like you think about the time that your SP said that they miss you. You think about how good, you think about a good date that you guys went on. You focus on the good memories. You focus on things that he said that you want to hear again. Or if you're not hearing any of it, you go to the future and you bring the future here now. So you're focusing on things, whether they've happened in the past or they will happen in the future because you're manifesting them, you focus on those. Deny the things that you see in your current reality. Other than if there's a physical or mental abuse going on, then step the fuck away. That's something, I mean, that was something I don't really think it's touched on enough, because I realized when someone sent a message to me the other day, I'm looking at it from the guy's point of view. It's like, yeah, we might get our heart broken, but ain't nobody putting hands on us or anything like that. So it's like, if that's the case, then remove attention from that. Like, remove yourself from the situation. But I don't know. I don't think most cases are like that, but I figured touch on that since it came up the other day. Neville is so confusing when he stated that you can wish and believe of another can be wished and believed of you, and you have no power to reject it if the one who desires it for you accepts it as it is true of you. What does that mean? I called her yesterday. She texted, but she did not respond. So I was like, yeah, let me not spam her while I'm trying to let her enjoy her travels. What do you think about Naya? She's also a good watch for all LOA. Okay, Dev, you got a lot of questions there. Let me break them all down. First thing, I did a whole video, and I believe it's on the membership side. I read that chapter that you're talking about, and OG, Barber, and Ratasha, you guys have probably seen it already. If anyone else wants to subscribe to the membership side of YouTube, I have a video on that same chapter where somebody brought up to me, oh, Neville's contradicting himself. And I went back and reread it. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, wait a minute. So I go back and reread it. What he's saying there is a very important part. If somebody is putting a feeling on you that, let me get the exact quote. I think you have the exact quote right there. You have no power to reject it. Right. So whatever you see in yourself, like I said before, if you see yourself being loved and you're capable of love and stuff like that, you're focused on love. And I have the thing where it's like, okay, nobody can manifest me unless I want to manifest them. That's a rule I set down for myself. Remember, you are the observer. Everybody else is still a human being. Everyone else still has free will, but it's like they come into your reality the way that you expect them to. So if you're capable of being loved and you're capable of giving love, then you're also capable of receiving love. It's like inverse, like an inverse reality, right? So if I'm capable of giving my specific person love and I could see her as capable of receiving it, then inversely, I'm also capable of receiving it. So when she comes to give me love, and usually at this time too, everyone's like, oh, my exes have come back, or I'm getting a lot more attention from members of the opposite sex. So it's like people will start to receive that stuff in their reality. That's a sign that you're impressing your subconscious, and that's a sign that you're receiving and you're open to it. So it's like, that's why one of my favorite affirmations is what I desire desires me. So if I desire my specific person, then she desires me. So you're opening yourself up to that channel. So it's not really a contradiction. It's you're only going to experience whatever you're able to imagine for another and whatever you're able to imagine for yourself. So like if you imagine only bad things happening to yourself and then say somebody wants to wish that on you, then your mind is open to that stuff. That's why I say don't joke about yourself negatively. Don't joke about any circumstances you wind up in negatively. Focus only on things that are of lovely and good rapport, as Neville once said. All my meditations are focused on the heart, not the mind. The mind can trick you and just let the thoughts pass through. My comments are what I've been using and felt great for me. Dr. Joe Dispenza, heart meditations help a lot. Yeah, Dr. Joe Dispenza is a great teacher. His meditations are great. I've only done them a handful of times, but they're great. I do like them, and I know people get a lot of success from them. And then you said, yeah, like focusing on the heart. Heart is a feeling. So you're focused on feeling. And again, like Neville says, feeling is the secret. So yeah, that's a very true thing to say. Okay, so Yume is asking about, okay, she's in a great long distance relationship and her boyfriend's very committed, but you haven't exchanged I love yous yet. So it's like, here's one of those things, kind of like what Dev was talking about. Are you capable of receiving it? Does it feel weird or unnatural for you to say I love you? Because if you're holding back on it, then, or at the same time, you're holding back because you're afraid they won't say it back. So you got to be able to receive I love yous. So it's funny. It's like, I grew up in a household where my mom said it, my dad didn't say it much. So it's like, I think that's just among men, or at least where I'm from, is like men don't really say that to each other. So it's like when I started the channel, it just felt natural for me because I was in a state of loving and abundance and I had my specific person. So it became very easy for me to say, I love you to my specific person, to you guys here, like, because I do love and appreciate all you guys for all the support and watching the channel and everything like that. You guys mean the world to me. So it's like I was able to say it there. Then it became I was holding back on saying it to my specific person. And then it was in a way that was least expected. You know, I had this assumption, oh, she can't say it. And I was like making correlations that like, I'm like, oh, she's got a similar personality to my dad, where she's not someone that says it. Or the way that manifestation played out was actually funny. It was like I was rushing around. It was on Christmas, and I was like, damn, I got to get this shit done. Like I was helping her pack gifts, and I had to get to another party and then be back for her party. And I was like, I gotta go. And I was like agitated and flustered. So I was like, all right, I gotta go. I'll see you later. And give her a kiss. And she's like, all right, be safe, love you. And I was like, yeah, you too. Love you too. And I go to turn around. I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Like holy shit, it happened. It was like when I least expected it, I expected it. So if you want to experience it, be willing to see him as someone who can give it and see yourself as someone who can receive it. Put it that way. What are your thoughts on Naya? If you've heard about her, she is also a good one. Yeah, Naya's very good. I do like Naya's channel. It was funny for a long period of time whenever I was making a YouTube video. And I remember I'm in Chicago, Naya's in Italy. I don't know what part of Italy. I think then she was in England or something. I would make a video, and there was a point in time I would record like 10 videos at once. And then I would post them in the order I recorded them. So let's say I filmed 10 videos tonight. The next 10 days, it will start with the first video I did, and they would go in order like that. So I would do the videos like that, and I would post them at a different time. And I would post them, and then later on in the day, I would see she posted a few hours before me or a few hours after with the same topic. And it's like, and you could tell that it was kind of a pre-recorded thing for her as well. Obviously, it's pre-recorded because it's a video, but it's like we're posting the same things, but my stuff was already pre-recorded. So it's like she's a bigger channel, and I was like, oh, people are going to think I'm copying her because it's like we were saying the same things and the same thought patterns. So I respect her a lot as a coach. And I think she's really good at what she does. So, yeah, I like Naya a lot. If we see ourselves as better than SP, no, it would. If you see yourself as better than a specific person, it doesn't mean that they're going to feel less worthy or not want to be with you. But guys, again, I'm going to repeat this point too. We don't want to overthink all this stuff as well. If the more we overthink it and say, well, what if this happens and what if that happens? I have no problem answering these questions, but it's like I was in the same boat as you. I was overthinking every little aspect. It's like, well, Neville said this and contradicted, so is manifesting not work? Or it's like, oh, if I feel too good about myself, will my specific person not want to be with me? No, you want to feel as good about yourself as possible because remember, the journey of life is for yourself. It's about you feeling good and becoming the person you want to be. That's the journey of life. And when you become the ideal version of you, you see yourself as who wouldn't want to be with me. So of course they're going to want to be with you. So that's why I would say that. Right. You may, I'll take this. I would use this as an example too, because it was a long time before that happened with me and my specific person, but things were great. Like she showed up in every way that a great girlfriend would. Like she would come over. I was trying to save money and stuff. She would come over and like find all like the stuff that I had, like leftovers and stuff, and make some really good meal, or like just the random items of food. She'd make me a good meal. And when I was working on the channel, she was supporting me, and I actually got the thing hung up. Now you can see it on TikTok. You guys can't see it, but YouTube can. I got my certificate hung up. She pushed me through my what do you call it? My personal training certification. So if you guys need personal training too, email me, mysticmanifesting@gmail.com. I do that as well. But it's like she pushed me through that. She supported me when I went to that's the picture above that nobody can see, but there's a picture on the wall with when I did my first bodybuilding show. She went with me there, her and my mom. So it's like I saw her support me in all these ways where it's like anyone can say I love you all day long, but who can show it? So showing it to me is more valuable. And that's what I took because that's always how I've lived my life. It's like I show love. I don't really like need to say it. Then as I got older, I said it more because I believed in this thing that Greg Blitz said. It's like you never know when your last moment with someone's going to be, and you never know the last time you're going to see someone where it'll be the last time you see them or they see you or whatever. You know, life can be crazy. So he's like, always say whatever's on your heart. So that's why I've always said that. Do you believe in infinite realities? Brahma, yes. I believe that we just choose a different reality to step into. And whether it's true or not, I choose to believe it because it feels good and it helps you feel like, yeah, I could move into whatever reality I want. It helps give you the feeling of limitlessness. I forgot this black coffee. Damn. Trying to get through all your questions, guys. I just wrote a letter to a third party and said, with respect, fuck off, and burned it. There you go, Vinny. So now don't think about the third party no more. Third party is no longer something that you need to worry about. I'm gifting the first 3 people. Oh, okay. Well, God is good. Yeah, that is true. But I'm not going to DM you that. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to go through these. It's harder for me on TikTok because it's smaller down there. My SP, not an ex, is currently living with his girlfriend. He acts like he has a secret crush on me. He wished me a happy birthday and complimented my poetry, but my mind says he would not give up his current life for me. We'll see that, Arali. That's where you have to. Am I say your name right? If I said it wrong, let me know. But that's where you have to switch the focus. It's like, take those silver linings. Those are the good things that made you feel good. Focus on those more. Then start to build a fantasy and a reality there. Because why? What does it do other than make you feel good at the moment? And at the same time, do things to make yourself feel worthy. So that's where, like, when I'm coaching somebody, we kind of break down those things and I find the blocks. It's like, what are things you're doing in your life that hold you back? What are something that you want to be doing that you stop yourself from doing? What are your true beliefs on yourself? And what we kind of look for, it's like a self-improvement thing, but because it builds up your self-concept. So it's like, why do you not feel worthy? And it could be something from somewhere that doesn't even make any sense, but it's like, hey, you're not feeling worthy because of that. So how do we solve that problem? So we find ways to spin stories and make you feel more confident in that. What are some actions you can take that make you feel more worthy? So do that. OG says also skip the online tarot card. Exactly, brother. Yeah, skip the online tarot cards. It's like, if you wind up watching one and it's good, double down and say, hey, that's true. But if you see one that's bad, it's like, tarot cards are bullshit. So it's like, that's what I would do. It's like, if I would see one and it would resonate to what I was manifesting, I'd be like, hell yeah, that's real. It's working. And I would see one that was contradictory, like, fuck that. Tarot cards are fake as fuck. So that's what you do when you see those. The more options we have, it's more difficult to choose which SP we would prefer. Well, then, what's it called? Cruise. Then in that case, you choose the one that serves you best. Like, what relationship serves you best? Like, which one do you feel the most comfortable with? It's nice because then you have options. I look at it that way. It's like, it's nice to have options, but it's like, hey, what do I want to do? Do I want to focus on the reality with this original specific person? Because it's like, one thing I learned is people change, but people change when you change. The world is a mirror. So if I was still the same Nick that started this whole journey, then I wouldn't have experienced the best version of my specific person, because right now I'm experiencing the best version of myself. And I know that I can improve. And as I improve and elevate, everybody in my reality is going to improve and elevate. And that's one of the things that we talk about on Discord. Like, if you guys want to join the Discord as well, see, I find ways to slip my plug in right there. If you want to join the Discord, it's like, we're all in there. Like, there's different aspects, whether it's the working out, hobbies, cooking, whatever, stuff that like people like to do. It's like, we build each other up, we hype each other up, because those other areas in our life, the better, like someone in there's a dancer, the better she gets at dancing. It's like, hey, that's going to build more self-concept. She might not be trying to dance professionally, but it's like, hey, she perfected a move that's new or whatever. That's something that you build up confidence on. Guys in the gym, ladies in the gym, you hit a new PR on your weights. It's like, there's something that's going to build up your, it has nothing to do with dating, but it makes you feel good about yourself. So we're finding every area of us in our life that makes us feel good. Hold on, I saw KJX is in here. Let me see. Is it normal that the more we have a better self-concept? Yeah, you want to have a better self-concept. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to go through all this. The more questions there are that come up, it makes it a little bit harder for me. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I've read that one already. Have a question. Say my SP reaches out, but something comes up and we try to hang out. Say my SP reaches out, but some things come up when we try to hang out. What can I do? KJX, I wouldn't freak out. I'd say, okay, these things came up. That's normal and natural. That happens in the real world. Things happen. Like this past weekend, I got excited and did other things. It doesn't mean that we're breaking up or anything. So Friday night came along. She went to go see. I think I did live for you guys here on TikTok, but YouTube didn't see it. So it's like, okay, she's hanging out with a friend she hasn't seen in like a year. Go enjoy your friend. And it's like, so I made plans to go out with the guys, and it was a last minute thing. Well, actually, that one there was a heads up on Saturday. She was doing, I forgot, she went to go see her parents or whatever, and it was a last minute thing. And it's like, you know what? You haven't seen your parents in a while. Go enjoy your parents. And you know what? I haven't hung out with the boys in a while. This is gonna be fun. And then those plans fell through. So instead of falling apart and being like, ah, damn, I have nothing to do, I feel less. You're not in competition with your specific person. It's like, I just chose to chill back at the house. My brother came over. We watched TV, watched Fear Factor and stuff like that, and just hung out and had a good time, laughed, and chilled. Had some cigars, and that was that. And it's like, I didn't feel, it's like the next day, it's like Sunday, it's like she goes to work on Monday. I do this on Monday, and I'm busy with the channel and stuff all day. So it's like, I know I won't see her Sunday or Monday, and I probably won't see her for another week. Okay, cool. Even when we were in this in-between stage and this stuff would happen, I had to find a way. And it's like, there's more insecurity because you don't have the title or something like that. It's like, I don't got this title, so maybe she's not locked down and she don't do whatever. No, don't think about this stuff. Think about, okay, cool. What can I do now? It's like, hey, this is exciting. I really wanted to do that. But if you think about everything happens for a reason and everything's working out in my favor, what's something I've been putting off or I've wanted to do for a while? And how do I go do that right now? Let me hit up a friend. Let me go check out this restaurant I want to see. Hey, I wanted to go to the movies. Today I just want to have a lazy day. And you do something for yourself. That's how you go through it. He says he's doing the best he can do to see me. Okay, then good. That's something you focus on and you enjoy. And then in real life, not enjoy, but something you focus on and say, okay, he's actually doing the best. Everything he's doing is the best to stay with me. So stick with that. Let me see. How do you control your intrusive thoughts? Because I scream, shut up. People around me think I am not okay. I wouldn't be screaming, shut up at myself when the intrusive thoughts come in. You're welcome, KJX, and thank you for the likes. I wouldn't be screaming, shut up, because then, remember, this is an internal argument and battle and stuff like that. We don't need to bring it out in the 3D and stuff like that. Intrusive thoughts, find the opposite. You're feeling an intrusive thought of, I'm not worthy. Think of a time where you were worthy. Think of a time, or think of something that you're working on now that makes you feel more worthy. If you're going to the gym, it's like, hey, you know what? I was here before, but where am I now? Oh, I'm over here now. I feel a whole lot better about myself. I think about, it's like, what's something that brings me joy? I'm going to do that right now. Sometimes a movie or video games, it's like, for me, I have a hard time playing video games because I'm like, oh, I'm wasting time. So how did I find a way to do that as like a distraction? Not from my specific person, but just like something I find interesting. So it's like, that's why I started the Twitch streams. It's like, hey, I could talk about manifesting here with you guys. I could talk about whatever. I could practice my comedy if someone comes in to troll. It's like, it's funny as fuck. So it's like, I have some laughs. I could play games with my friends and bond with my friends. So it's like, I found something I can do that builds up my confidence. And it's like, the more people who follow on Twitch, it's like, I don't need it. It's like, I don't make my money off that. It's just something fun to do. And it's like, but there's a little goal that makes me feel good about myself. And at the same time, those video games, those movies, whatever, they will help you remove attention from what you don't want to do. It's almost like a mind numbing thing, but in a good way, because you're having fun. I'm changing the story and looking at it this way. He's trying and he wants to see me too. Exactly, KJX. He wants to see you. He's trying his best, and his best is always enough because he always shows up. And start picturing the dates. Go to the end. Focus on what that date with him looks like. Where would you go? What would he want to do? What would you want to do? And go to that date and focus on that. Fall asleep to that date. Fall asleep to you guys in bed together and you guys talking about how great the date was and having that inner conversation. That will play out. There were things I pictured me and my specific person talking about when we got back together. Boom, that stuff happened. My goal is to marry and live with my SP in Greece. We talked last time, February. Should I manifest step by step? Cruz, that's up to you. It's whatever works best for you. You could jump all the way to the end, seeing yourself in Greece and everything like that, and then watch it play out. But if you're someone who fears how it plays out, and then sometimes, because when it's playing out, it never plays out exactly how you picture. It plays out in a better way. But sometimes that better way is, what do you call it? Scary, I guess. Scary, and maybe it looks like it's not going to happen because sometimes it looks worse than it is. Sometimes the worst case, like, when we became official, it was a fight, and I just sat there in my head and calm I was sitting on the couch and she was walking out the door. I told the story before, and me and her told it together. If you guys want to see me and her interact together, there are live streams up on YouTube still about it. I saw her walking out the door, and I'm like, it's going to hurt me. And she's like, is it going to hurt if I leave? I said, yeah. And she's like, are you going to feel bad? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, are you going to be sad if you leave me? She goes, yeah. And it's like, well, what do we do? It's like, well, do you want to be together? Both of you? And it's like, yeah, I do. So what, are we official? Well, do you want to be? Yeah. Okay, then we are. And it's like, but in my head the whole time, I'm like, everything works out in your favor. She walks out that door. Somehow this works out. If she stays here, it works out. And either way, I got the end result. But I had to stay calm in times of pressure. What are your thoughts on robotic affirming? Dev, I talked about this one before, but what do you call it? I like them, but it's hard for me to do them because I feel like, what am I doing? And my brain checks in. It's like, why do you keep saying that? And it's like, you don't really believe this. It's like your brain checks in. It's like, all right, I don't really believe it. They work if you're someone who resonates with them. Like if you guys look at Sammy Ingram, she kills it with those. And when she was talking about them a lot, people were asking me, so I picked the thing to apply them to, and it came to pass. What I was manifesting for was like a certain date, and we were like in a hot and cold behavior at the time, and it's like I didn't know if it was going to break up or not. We weren't official. I didn't know if I wanted to be official or not at that time because there were breakups before, and what I was robotically affirming for came to pass. But I didn't do it where I was telling them to myself all day in my mind or out loud. I used the Parrot app where I recorded my own voice with the Oppenheimer music in the back, and I let that play because I didn't want to, what do you call it? I didn't want to talk to myself all day. I don't want to do that. To me, it didn't feel natural. But I could have an inner conversation with her like nothing. Like we're talking on great terms. So that's what I prefer. Thank you for the likes, Cruz. We need to find a remote job and business to order to move there because I have a 9-to-5 job right now. Well, Cruz, that's possible too. You know, I had a client actually. I'm not working with him right now because he's got everything he wanted. He was locked into a situation where it's like he was on a contract somewhere. He had to be living in this country for a while. His SP was around the world. There was a third party. There was all these factors against it. He wound up going there. The third party, it's like the third party was still there, but we got together with the specific person. We used the one affirmation: when I desire desires me. I desire SP, so SP desires me. We worked on that. We coached together for a couple months. By the time that he wound up out there, he was released from his contract, which he knew the contract was ending anyway, but he had nothing lined up there. At the last minute, he wound up finding a job that was like right as his contract expired. He wound up getting a job that was remote and being allowed to work even on a time zone across the country or across the world. Wound up moving there. A specific person came to him, and he chose not to be with a specific person because he didn't like the memories of like knowing that there was a third party. I don't know what's happened in this sense, but I do know that he wound up choosing and dating. He dated around a little bit out there, enjoyed it. Like he told me about all these beautiful women that he was with, and I'm like, hey, if you're having fun, he goes, I'm having fun. I'm loving my life. And he was someone who was in a really dark place at one point when we were coaching, and he picked himself up. He was starting a business. He was working remotely. He moved to where he wanted to move, and he wound up dating some other girl that was not a specific person, but met all the things that he liked. And he still didn't like at the end. He's like, well, I don't know if I want to be with her or the original SP because I think I'm done with the original one. That was the last time we coached together, but he was doing really good after that. Now, that was one where it's like, man, all the way across the world, third party, all this stuff. And she left the third party for him the last I found out. And he said no. It's like, so he felt like he had a good, like, he's like, I don't need it anymore. And he was happy with life. That was what I wanted to see for him. That's what I want to see for all you guys. I want you to be happy with life. The person doesn't make you happy. And I'm going to pound this home, and you're not going to believe me. You're not going to listen to me because I wouldn't have listened to me saying this. But when you reach it and you have the specific person, or you get a specific person that's not that one, but somebody who meets your criteria or whatever, and you get there, you say, man, the journey was a self-love journey the whole time. I had to love myself. And again, pulling back to the quote that Dev brought up, I had to love myself in order to receive love. And when you start to love yourself and you start to have faith and you detach, like OG was talking about, and you detach from it, it starts to flow in. And Cruz, yes, that's what I'm saying. Always be the priority in your own life. And now that I look at it, guys, it's been an hour, and I appreciate the questions because you guys helped drive this. I thought the hot and cold would be a good jumping off point just because I've experienced it with some clients this week. There was a client, she was spiraling and thought that she lost her specific person. And sure enough, we had a session. And during the session, this is why I talk about guys. During the sessions, it doesn't always happen, but it did. Like the specific person was calling her. And after that, I told her what to do if you see some hot and cold behavior, and it was getting cold during the conversation, but she persisted and stuck to it in her mind. Later on, called reconciliation, and the relationship is still on, and things are good. So very proud of her. I always talk about her and how proud I am. So shout out to her. I appreciate her a lot, and I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. I'll take these last two questions before I jump off, guys. What would you say to people who give SPs free will or a choice when manifesting them? Well, Liz, I choose to treat it because the reason I say it like this is because sometimes people will be like, oh, they're not a real person. It's just it's something in my imagination. Everyone is you pushed out. I do believe that every person has a soul. I believe in infinite realities. I think life is more complex than we care to admit. But the same thing, I think, thank you, Deb, for bringing up that Neville quote. And thank you, I believe Barbara brought it up. Maybe it was Barbara, maybe it was somebody else, brought up the question a while ago, and I did the live stream on it, and then I did a membership video for it. But talking about this, if you want to impress a thought on somebody else, are you capable of feeling it within yourself and receiving it yourself? You always want to wish good things on other people. That's why, like Neville said, the bad things will come back on you because you're capable of thinking that and you're capable of receiving it. So always think good things for others. Take the Bible line where it's like, do unto others as you would do unto yourself. And I take it a step further and say, do unto yourself as you would do unto others too. So it's like the same thing. It's like same thing, kind of the inverse, but it's like do unto yourself as you would do unto others. So you want to see the best for yourself and see the best for others. Don't wish bad on anybody. That's why I would always say it's like, yes, they have their own free will, because it's like my specific person came back on her own free will. She had to go through a bridge of incidents that led to a removal of a third party, the realization that she wanted to be with me. The one thing I wrote down for her with my mini manifestations is that she knows exactly who she is and she's confident who she is. And she, like, I did something for her, and it's like in that, like, she went through this whole bridge of incidents that led her back to me. And at the same time, I was going through a bridge of incidents that led us back together through a crazy series of circumstances. So they have their own free will, but you're the one choosing the reality to observe. If there's multiple realities, there is one where she didn't choose me, but I chose not to live in that, if that makes sense. Why some people never have 3P situations. Other people have 3P, stay or never find a 3P. Some people have the third party because you don't feel worthy enough. My thing was, we went through 2 or 3 breakups, and I was like, oh, I better watch these videos on how to remove a third party just in case that ever pops up in my reality. And hold on, they're making me solve a puzzle. So it's like, I was like, let me watch these videos just in case there's a third party shows up. Sure enough, third party showed up, and I was like, okay, well, let me apply this technique. And it's like, I couldn't get rid of them for a while. I'm like, fuck, what do I do? So I wrote the letter and I removed attention. The answer was remove attention from the third party and focus it on yourself. You don't feel good enough, so reality brings in someone who you've identified as the person that they would want. But anyway, guys, thank you for the likes. Liz, I'm glad that made sense. Hopefully that helped, and you're welcome. But with that, guys, that's the end of the live. We've done our hour. If you guys want to join the community on Discord, it's a paid group. You don't have to join it. You don't need it. If you need coaching, it's on the website. All the links are in the bio on TikTok. All the links are down below and in every video on YouTube. So feel free to join or get some coaching if you want. You don't need it, but it's there. I just bring it up because a lot of times people will email me or message me like, hey, do you have coaching? Yes, it's there. If you want to join the Discord community, that's there. And if you're on YouTube, if you guys are on TikTok, go over to YouTube. I have videos on every single thing you can imagine for this topic. Just sift through them. You can see stuff where I leave every video up. So I got a video where me and my SP are sitting here, and you can see my self-concept waiver. You can see us where she's all in love and in a good state. You can see all these different things. And if you join the membership side of YouTube, there's more videos there. I got to figure out how membership stuff works on here. If not, you don't need to pay for anything. I do release everything for free, but if you want to and you want to support the channel that way and to have extra content like OG, Barber, and Natasha, I appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. Feel free to do that. If not, I'll see you guys in the next one. So see you next Monday. Oh, we do a prayer meditation on Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Discord. If you guys want more manifesting content or just to shoot the shit with me, I'm going to be on Twitch, Flex_Lassiter. That's in the in the link tree as well. Feel free to do that. That will be Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Then we do our prayer meditation on Discord, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So Twitch is free. So if you don't want to pay for all the stuff, that's fine too. I'll be around. But with that, love you guys. See you on the next one. Have a great week too, Mama Mystic. I was hanging up on these guys first, but love you guys. See you in the next one.